Welcome to another episode of Love and Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, we are going to dive headfirst into the second season of the Ultimatum Marry or Move On. The first 8 episodes of the series dropped today, with the final 2 episodes, including the reunion, debuting on August the 30th. On today's episode, I'm going to break down all the happenings in the first 2 episodes of the show, giving you my running thoughts of whenever I watched it. If you're a fan of the series, I have 2 interviews up right now with the cast members Brian, Lisa, Roxanne, and Antonio over on the YouTube page, so be sure to check those out. If you have seen all the episodes of the series, we are in for a whirlwind of a season that doesn't let up one bit. I have seen them all. I'm excited to chat about them. So without further ado, let's jump right into episodes 1 and 2. Obviously, in my breakdown episode, I talked about the couples. We have Kat, who's giving the ultimatum to Alex. Lisa gave the ultimatum to Brian. Ryan gave the ultimatum to James. Trey gave the ultimatum to Raya. And Antonio gave the ultimatum to Roxanne. We get a little bit of a montage of everyone talking about, followed by everyone meeting each other as our host, Nick and Vanessa, arrive. Antonio thinks the pressure needs to be given to Roxanne because he knew she was the one. However, she's looking for someone who's more ambitious and knows what they want, and that's not him. He said he's willing to walk away if she says no. Of course, Nick and Vanessa are here and are talking up everything. Vanessa says this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, which was very, very confusing to say. But Nick says they are all compatible here in some shape or form. Lisa and Brian have a conversation. They've been together 2 years. So, oh my God, so long here, right? Families love one of each other. But what is he waiting for? She feels confident that he will propose. They share a funny, cute little moment of these two being kind of awkward towards each other. He wants to make sure that they are in the financial space to get married. Ryan's giving the ultimatum to James. They have been together since high school. They're high school sweethearts. And she said it's time for them to take the next step. They've never lived together, only a supervised 2-week vacation. Look, I understand people follow things the way that they want to, but man, I can't imagine marrying somebody without living in the same roof, under the same roof with them first. That would be insane. He says he doesn't believe in one true love. What? Like, first off, that would be a red flag. Like, James, bro, red flag number 1. Like, check mark. We're already 1 check mark in for James here. She said 7 years in, he should know if it's her or not. If he isn't, he should hit the bricks. And he brings up wanting to be financially ready. That seems to be the running trend here. Raya and Trey here. Trey said he is ready to lock it down where they are in life. Raya said she hasn't seen a happy relationship anywhere. She said he used to be romantic. He did all the Valentine's Day stuff. And he said that he did all the Valentine's Day stuff, and she was like complaining that it wasn't like the TikTok video that she saw. I didn't realize that we were like letting stuff that we see, an anomaly on stuff that we see on TikTok dictate. I mean, if he made the effort, like, I don't know. He has a job, but she's still trying to figure out herself what she wants it to do in life. She has a lot of I don't knows and wants to figure them out. Nick talks about their own ultimatum, blah, 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 blah. Nothing better than waking up with your next best friend. Nothing better than waking up with your best friend, which is true. It is pretty amazing. Tonight is the last night the couples will spend together. Tomorrow they will break up and become exes. Over the next week, they will date new people. Each person will choose a new partner, and they will move in for 3 weeks in their trial marriage. And then, of course, they will then move in with their original partner for 3 weeks. But Raya said maybe her soulmate is out there. It's just my thing. Okay, if you are saying stuff like this, then the person that you are with ain't the person you're supposed to be with. Like, if you're questioning, like if you're saying my soulmate is out there, then your soulmate's out there, right? She also said Brian was super hot. Yikes. I mean, look, I understand saying stuff like this. We're going to be getting to know each other and stuff like that. Kat's giving the ultimatum to Alex. The two have dated for 2 years. Kat says she thinks he'll get jealous and he better not like another girl more than her. She doesn't want to go 3 or 4 more years, but wants to settle down now. She hopes that this makes him stronger and they leave together engaged. And he said, I hope so too. Like the way he said it. Like Alex, we got James with a strike. We got Alex with a strike. We got Raya with a strike. Like we're counting our strikes here, folks, as we break these episodes down. He asked her what makes her so sure. She says, you are the love of my life and my best friend. She asked why he isn't ready. He said, it's not easy for him to express himself and not for her either. Not a big fan here. She needs to move on because this man ain't it. Back to Ryan and Trey, Raya said that they have got stuff to work on, but he said they could work on those things as a married couple. She said she doesn't know what she wants. She wants to be more emotional. She wants him to be more emotional, and everything is about him. She has to beg him to do stuff. He said it's been 2 years. Oh no, it's been 2 years. Oh my God, we don't have babies or kids. He doesn't plan dates or anything. She wants the butterflies that they had at the beginning. He said everything changed when she moved in, went from nice cars and going out to taking care of someone. Well, welcome to marriage, buddy. She said you don't have to take care of me. It doesn't think he sees her as financially smart. She asked, what if at the end of the experiment, maybe marriage isn't what she wants or wants kids? She asked if he'd be okay with not having kids. And things kind of get weird between these two. She breaks down and says, what if she doesn't want to have kids? And of course, would he still want to be with her? He said he loves her and wants to be with her. Doesn't answer the question here. He said that's something he has to think about, but he wants to know if they are on the same page. He asked, what would it take for her to be ready to marry him? And she says, I don't know. Yikes. We are 2 for 2 with couples that shouldn't be together. Roxanne and Antonio. Roxanne said everyone is not made for marriage, and she doesn't believe in marriage, which is rough to understand, but unpacking Roxanne is something that I found extremely intriguing throughout the entirety of season 1. She said it's important for someone to understand her lifestyle. She works all day and all night. She wants someone to pick it up when she has the moments they have time to spend together. He wants her to see what it's exactly like to be without him. And if she doesn't say yes, he is gone. And she says, stop. It was pretty funny. Lisa and Brian. Lisa said Brian says he's always want to be with her forever, but why is he not ready to propose? He said if a proposal, what will change? He said a woman having a biological clock wants to have marriage before kids. He said he feels like she is forcing him. Finances are a struggle. She has money. She says she's a 6-figure chick. I mean, she's ready to buy a house, but they aren't like ready. He says he ain't getting married to buy a house. Like, I don't know. It sounds like she's got her shit together. You know what I mean? He doesn't. She asks if he's trying to figure out if he wants to marry her or is it just her? You know what I mean? So like, is she trying to figure out, is she the problem or he's just not, or he's just not want to get married? He said, I don't think it's it. And she said he hesitated. He did. But he said no hesitation. She said it sucks, and maybe it's the age difference. If they go off of the timeline, she'll be 40, but she could be off with someone else. He said everyone's timeline is different, but she says she needs someone to be on the same timeline and wants him to be because she loves him. She has nothing left to prove and wants to find out if he is ride or die for her. She said he doesn't want to marry her, that she will walk away. These two are in bed together, enjoying that little last night together, getting a little freaky deaky. She said, you got to promise not to kiss her like this. And he said she killed the moment. She's crying now. Lisa is very, very upset. She wants to go home. She tries to pick up the phone. She just keeps saying she wants to go home and he wants to talk to her. He said when they walk out, they'll be single. And she said, you'll love that. He wants her to work on her reactions when he is dating other people. Like, what the fuck is going on? He says, think about it and sit with it. She said, hope the girl he's with is boring to appreciate his humor. The emotional toll that this does put people on, like, I think we take for granted the mental aspect of this. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting our kind of rocks off watching these shows. And we enjoy it. We enjoy watching the struggles of these individuals, but it's crazy to think that like it's almost like not real until it's a real type of scenario. So I feel like that's kind of what Lisa was battling here in the first first moments of the show. Ryan and James, they've been together 7 years. Obviously, she said it's going to be weird when she hasn't dated anyone other than him. She said she would like an engagement ring at the end of this. And he said he already has the ring from his grandmother. She said she doesn't care how the ring looks and wants that commitment from him. That he decided she is the one and he wants to spend the rest of the life with him. It's dating time. All right. Raya said she Googled how to flirt, which was hilarious. James and Kat kind of hit it off a little bit. Everyone's like a little bit, I guess you could say. So James starts talking about the things that interest him. And he asked her what's something that everybody needs to know about her? She said she's got double jointed thumbs. And then his answer was he's really into science. And Kat was like, cool. Like, no thanks. Like, bro. And followed by and then of course he followed it with that she's double jointed as well. Roxanne and Trey. Trey said she's got her shit together. She said she works on number one. She said works number one and says that she's looking for someone that's super ambitious. She said she doesn't believe in marriage, but does believe in the right person. Brian and Roxanne are hitting it off over a few things, followed by him meeting Raya, and she wants romance and wants to go out on dates. So you want me. Lisa's watching, and she is furious. Like, furious. James and Raya said they really can't communicate. Raya said she was raised by a single mom. He said the same thing. She was a truck driver that worked 90 hours a week. He said he really hit it off because of their backgrounds and shocked how natural it was. Trey and Ryan, these two are from close to the same time. Trey mentions that they are high school sweethearts. She's ready to come home to her husband. Trey said it's interesting to talk to people who are on the same boat, but is ready to talk to Lisa. I do think it's interesting that, when you have the people that pair up together that are issuing the ultimatum together, it's definitely interesting. Lisa and Trey chat. They both gave the ultimatum. He said in his career is amazing. It's stable and he's ready. He said he got ready. And now that she isn't, it's hard. These two are kind of flirting with each other. Lisa says about the same. He said there's a beauty in the struggle. The two understand each other. I think that these two make a really good connection early in this process. Kat sits down with Antonio. He's actively not watching her because he's watching Roxanne. He's ready. She asks why he is ready. And he said he's ready for a family. She wants to feel heard in the relationship. He likes open communication. She likes that. These two kind of hit it off a little bit. Alex and Roxanne, they cheers the breakup, which is hilarious. They're both 31. They both bond over entrepreneuring. He likes a good conversation. Number one red flag for both is a lack of ambition. She said Alex is amazing to the camera and that they've bonded and she really wants to talk to him more. These two kind of hit it off. You know what I mean? When you have that spark that you're looking for, you're kind of looking for some comfort in this trial marriage as well. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to fall in love, find somebody new, et cetera, et cetera. But he said, I want to get married. And she said, maybe I'm down to get married, but maybe it's the wrong person. 4 days until the choice. They're all sitting together and someone mentions, who was your best date? Roxanne asked, what was your best date? Lisa then specifically says Brian. He said he's not answering. Smart man. She follows that. She said, I will choke you on camera. Lisa asked Kate to mention hers since the ladies have bigger balls than the men. Kate hesitates. Lisa said Antonio. Ryan said her best date was with Trey because of their backgrounds. James looks awkward. Ryan said Brian, and Lisa gives this dirty ass look. Lisa gets up and walks away. She's frustrated. Brian goes to talk to Lisa. These two have words. They take a shot together. She said this shouldn't be this hard, saying it shouldn't take this much to get to where they need to be. And she can't stand the idea of someone else making him laugh, touching him, and being with him every single night. He said, I know what we came here for. She says, it makes her question their relationship and starts to cry. She's upset because now she has to watch him with someone else. He said this is an opportunity to show her that this is what he wants and to work on themselves over the next 3 weeks. Like, my guy is trying to talk her off the ledge because he's super ready to be single, and he's definitely ready to be mingling. She said it was a mistake to bring him on here, and is now convincing her to stay. She's breaking down and crying, and it's not okay. Alex says to Roxanne that she's pretty cool and didn't realize how cool she was. LOL. These two mentioned that they are much alike. He said they will plan a date around her, and she said promise, and said, do you want to be more romantic? Like, these two were like ready to get it on in front of the whole crowd here, I swear to God. Brian and Raya are sitting down and talking. These two get to know each other a little bit more. She wants to watch movies and with movies and candles. The other scents are important as well. Like, these two are conversating, and the conversation is see, Lisa gets furious here, right? Like, very, very furious. And the thing about it is, in this process, like, there's one thing to be like, I'm attracted to you. Maybe I want to be in this trial marriage. But like, day one, we're asking each other to like get, like, talking about other senses, talking sexual. It's kind of getting crazy. You know what I mean? Lisa is furious and confides in Roxanne. She said to trust the process. And Lisa said, I don't think the man that Raya came here with, she doesn't believe that Raya likes the man that she came here with. And she's sitting over there talking to oh, Lisa goes, he's over there sitting there talking to that Hooters bitch. Oh man, that's like MVP caliber line, like top line of the season. Roxanne says, don't be mean. Raya said, would you cuddle with me? He smiles. Hello. And then Lisa goes, I'm going over. Lisa walks in to sit right next to Brian and wonders what they are talking about. She said, you liking Brian more? She said, he is cool. They've been on 2 dates. And she says, I think you like him more. And it bothers her. She said, I love the person I came here with. Raya excused herself. Brian is not thrilled of what Lisa did. He said he didn't like she intruded, but she says, I don't give a fuck. And said, Raya doesn't love her, man. And she said, I can show you she's wild. And now the thing about it is, now this is the thing, right? Let me pause for just a second here. What's crazy to me is in watching this kind of all go down, I'm wondering if maybe they need to take the element of like watching their significant, like their exes, quote unquote, watching them do this, because I feel like that's part of the problem, and maybe that causes kind of more friction than there kind of needs to be per se. So like, to me, that's something that I'm definitely thinking that maybe in the future that they should change, because that's a lot of raw emotion. Like, you already having to have the conversations about who you're liking, etc. There's nothing wrong with that, but having the conversations in front of each other, I think, is something that needs to change moving forward. He said he is there to find out if them being together is right for them. She just pie-faced him in front of everyone and storms out of the place. And that's our cliffhanger for episode 1. And then we switch right over. We picked up right where we left off in episode 2, right after the pie face. Stormed out saying, you are connecting with this bitch. Go ahead. He chases her down and says she's going home. He said it's lame. She said, you are talking to this Hooters bitch. She said, Hooters bitch again. This bitch ain't got nothing to offer. Maybe she's easy and she's going to give you some ass. She's got nothing to offer. He said, you doing the most. She said, I could see it being Roxanne because she's a boss bitch. Love that. He kind of gives it back to her, saying she needs to get out of her own way. He said he ain't give a fuck. She said, fuck the marriage, fuck the ultimatum. I'm done with you. Give me my key back. She screams at him at the top of the lungs, go talk to that bitch. And she says, I'm done. Brian walks in. It ain't my fault that she brought him here. He said, it's hard, but not that hard. Antonio said, no one has to be shocked or surprised. This is what this is about. Roxanne said, this is about them exploring this. Eventually they will be living together. Trey said, we all know why we're here, but this is hard. Raya approaches him and gives him a hug. Raya said she is crying every single day. She said, I hate the feeling that I'm not good enough for him. Raya said she said that Lisa cares for Brian. She seems to, but she said everything is flowing for her easily with Brian. I mean, of course it is. Trey says to the camera he loves Riot, but he is pleading with her to take the next step and wants it to work. But he has more questions that maybe they aren't meant to be. Is he fighting for something that doesn't need to be fixed, and wants them to both go after this experiment and figure that out? Roxanne and Alex, these two are on another date. He said that Kate and Roxanne are polar opposite. He wants to figure out which side they should lean on. She said that they are nervous today. He said he's challenging to be around, enjoys it. She feels nervous about being around him. These two kind of hit it off really good. They kind of have a deeper connection here. Both are seeing something. I think they take the experience more seriously because you're going after something that's different and unique and something you've never seen before, nothing you've been with before, and the opposite of what you currently have, to see if that's something that you want. Antonio and Kat, she asked like if you felt jealousy so far. He said 100% because it's hard to watch. To watch them go on some dates. He knows that Roxanne is very successful, and her hesitation that is he doesn't have a good job. Kat said the hard conversations she shuts down and needs to get better at that. We are 2 days away from the pick. James and Rye are out on a date. He said he almost wore jeans and his ass is tight in them. Thank you, James. We greatly appreciate that, interesting perspective. James said it'll be the first time moving in with someone. These two are kind of cute together. Raya and James are. She said after him saying he showers twice a day, would you live with me? And he said it's leaning that way. Raya tells the camera that she could see a marriage with James. They have a really good connection and she wants to be around him. Brian and Raya, she sits down with Brian to figure out where her head is at. These two pick up right where they left off, which makes me sad for James because I thought Raya and James were really cute together. She said it feels like he wants to get married, but not yet. He feels the pressure, he said. He said he wants to get married, not yet, because he's not financially stable. She said she expects the man to take care of the rent. See, and she's like, she would take care of electricity, groceries, or she would take care of the electricity and stuff like that. The groceries would be together. She likes to spend money. If my car doesn't decline, I am fine. She will make sure it won't decline. This is where I kind of get upset, right? If we're in a relationship, and the thing about it is like with the expectation of marriage, like it's a 50-50 thing. Like I don't mind people that are willing to step up to the plate and do that sort of thing for somebody and pay the rent. Like when you're in a relationship, in a serious relationship, if you're living together, it's definitely serious. Like definitely marriage, it's not 50-50. It's like 100-100. Like you're consistently giving 100% every which way you go. Sometimes you have to give 200 because the other person doesn't have it it's not 50-50. It's not 80-20. It's not 90-10. It's nothing like that. She talks about I'm sorry, I lost track here just because I was just kind of going through the motions here. Let's see here. We're going back and forth. Let's see here. We are going down to Trey and Ryan. Trey said he is like literally has had a connection with both Raya and Ryan. And he has said that their identical story structure and background has kind of gotten them on the same page. She said with her life is on pause and doesn't want to wait any longer. He said she is beautiful and she loves his style. Trey telling women they look good count. We're up to 2 now. He said he is one of those people that when they walk by, they would look, and he is happy to watch her smile. He feels bad for her. He feels bad for enjoying himself, but the process is opening up. Trey said he has a lot in common with Lisa. And with Lisa and Ryan, he's trying to figure it out. Sorry, yeah. 2 chairs are empty at the end of the okay, so it's time. It's time. It's time for us to pick who they're going to be with. There's 2 chairs at the end of the table. Lisa and Brian have decided to remove themselves from the experience. Nick said they invited them to tell the group themselves, but they declined the invitation. Lisa came to the group that said And she said she had taken a pregnancy test and it came back positive. Positive. Oh my God. So we're already down a couple. We're 2 episodes in and we went from 5 couples to 4 couples. That was it. You know what I mean? That's incredibly insane to me. Like it what a twist. You know what I mean? Like what an incredibly crazy twist. Well, that's it for the first episode. What I'm going to do here, I did episode 1 and episode 2 recap right before we jumped into the choices. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode, and I'll talk to you guys soon.